Adam Marburger here, President and CEO of Ascent Dealer Services, and I want to talk to you today about storytelling and using story in your sales presentations. What's going to happen is this: you're going to sell more, you're going to make more, and you're going to have a better environment for your consumer to do business in. So here's the deal. Since birth, we've been hardwired to listen to stories. We like movies. And sometimes we use storytelling in our sales presentations. Our consumers, our potential clients, can envision themselves in that story as a character. So I'm going to share something with you that's going to help you sell more service contracts at a higher gross profit. Now, when my customer gives me an objection, it's just like every objection. I don't care what the objection is. We have to take the objection, isolate the objection, and use a transition statement to share your big idea, and then ultimately you can close the deal. So when my customer says, hey, listen, I don't want to buy it, I'll just ask them why. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, a lot of my customers like to leave here protected. What's the main reason you're choosing to be unprotected? They're going to say something. I don't care what that something is. You're going to take it and let that customer know, I know how you feel. I felt the exact same way. And here's what I found out. So a lot of times we don't use the most simple transition. It's feel, felt, found. You're always going to say, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. And here's what I found out. So what I like to do is use that transition into a story. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, let me share a quick story with you real quick. Growing up, I used to work on cars. As a matter of fact, my dad worked on cars because his dad worked on cars. And that's just kind of what we did. We bonded under the hood of the car. Well, now we bond at the bar because technology showed up. My mom hates that, by the way. So Mr. and Mrs. Customer, today things are a little bit different than they used to be. And consumers would prefer to be protected over unprotected. See, this service contract, instead of you only having a 3-year, 36,000-mile full comprehensive program, we're going to go ahead and enhance that for you. Take it out 8 years, 120,000 miles. It's going to give you a couple of things. You're never going to pay for repair. Never have to worry about a car to drive. You'll never be inconvenienced, which most of my customers like that alone. And most importantly, it's going to put you in a position of strength later when you trade the vehicle in. My used car manager puts way more money in the trade that has a vehicle that's protected opposed to unprotected. Protected vehicles have options where the unprotected vehicle doesn't have any options. So I challenge you, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, take a look at the service contract. Now, what I like to do is I like to create this little story about here, growing up, I used to work on cars. As a matter of fact, my dad worked on cars because his dad worked on cars. We bonded under the hood of the car. Technology showed up. You can use your cell phone. Show your cell phone. Technology showed up, and it made it impossible for my dad and I to work on the car, and especially me now in 2021. So now we go to the bar. That's where we bond now. My mom hates it, by the way. And I'll tell you what happens. My consumers will typically, they're with me. They agree at the bar. They think it's kind of funny. And so then when I share with them the big idea of the service contract, and I'll put them in a position to win later because it gives the customer an exit strategy. You have more options with the service contract than you do without it. So anyway, this is a 3-minute and 40-second video. I'm sorry for the rant. I challenge you to think about your transition. Share a quick story. Use feel, felt, found before. Tell your customer, I'm going to share a quick story with you. Share your story and then use it into a closing transition. You're going to sell more. You're going to make more. I've got an arsenal of these closing objections. So if you're interested in learning more, knowing more, and making more, feel free to reach out. I love you. I'm your friend in the F&I office. Have a blessed day, y'all.